Okay, hello. So just like I was with Terminus being late to the Easter egg guide, I am now late with this one as well. So for some reason, just editing this video took forever. Only because the recording of it took me ages before I actually got to do the boss fight. And then when I did, they patched the drill. So I've got footage in here of me beating the boss with the drill, even though that's not necessarily possible anymore. It is, but it's a lot harder. But I'll talk about it when I get there. But anyway, this is the Easter egg guide for Citadelle Day More. Hope you enjoy it, and yeah, here we go. Okay, so for the first step of the Easter egg, you need to get all 4 of the swords. Now, most people know how to do this already. If not, I'm going to put in the description the 4 videos I made for each sword. Thumbnails you can see on the screen now. So if you still need to know how to do this, just go to those videos and then come back here. Now, the first thing we're going to do after getting the swords is get these elemental scrolls. There's 1 elemental scroll for each sword, and there's a task we need to do to get each one of them. So the first one I'm going to show now is the dark scroll, and the first thing you want to do is go down this cave slide in the Pack-a-Punch room, and when you get to the end, you'll see there's a raven sitting on a rock. Now before you get out of this cave slide, you need to shoot that raven, and it will scare the raven off of the rock and out into the sky. You need to now shoot this raven down, and it will drop the raven's foot. You now need to go down into the water room, where the LMG is on the wall, and you'll see this glowing golden ring around here, where if you interact, it will place the talon down, and it will start spawning in zombies. You just need to get a certain amount of kills in this area, and it will charge up this golden ring, until a golden toolbox will appear. This means you've completed a step, and you need to take the dark sword, and hit the chest, and it will open and reveal a dark scroll. Now if you want to pick this up, this will override your tactical slot, so make sure you're not holding anything like a Casimir that you're dropping when you want to pick this up. Now the next one I'm going to show you is the fire scroll. So you can either do this with Molotovs, or you can do it with the sword's actual ability. There are these 3 piles of wood hidden around the map, so if you go onto the castle wall, you'll see one just outside in the map here, by this oil trap. You'll see the next one on the other side of the wall, next to this tower, and then you'll see the third one. If you stand by the cannon and look towards the gate of the castle, you'll see the third one there. Now once you've lit all 3 of these on fire, either with the Molotov or the sword ability, and you've killed all of the zombies that this spawns, a Doppelgast will spawn in, it'll drop the item, which is a Ra's Ankh. You now want to do the same thing you did with the Talon, go over to where I do in the video and you'll see the gold circle, interact here and then just kill zombies until the circle is charged. And now go over to the box with your fire sword, hit that and it will open and reveal the fire scroll. Now the third one is going to be the light or the lion scroll. What you're going to do, in the Vulturade room or the sword room, you'll see this glowing red stone on a dish. What you want to do is shoot this and you'll see a beam of light. What you want to do is stand in the area the beam of light is pointing at and then shoot this disc and it will move and then aim towards another disc of light. You need to continuously do this until the beam of light aims towards this item on the table. Now if you go over and interact, you'll see an item called the Paladin's Brooch appear. You want to go ahead and pick that up and then go back into the sword room and you'll see where I do here, there is another golden ring. You need to go and interact, again, kill zombies and the golden chest will spawn. Now you want to take the light sword or the lion sword and go ahead and hit that and it will open to reveal the light scroll. Now the final one we're going to talk about is the electric scroll. If you go over to the courtyard in this barn area, you'll see on the wall there is a horseshoe. What you want to do is shoot that and it will drop on the floor. Now if you head up back onto the wall, where the cannon was that you opened the doors originally, you want to get in there and shoot yourself towards spawn. Once you've done this, you'll see a lightning strike hit you, and when you land, you want to look to either side of the spawn until you see a dark cloud appear in the sky. You want to go over to where you see this cloud, and directly underneath, you'll see the charged up horseshoe. Now head back into spawn, and again you'll see the golden ring. Now the last time we're going to interact, get kills, and the scroll is going to appear. Hit that scroll with your lightning sword and it will open to give you the lightning scroll. Now we're all set up with swords and scrolls, we can actually start the Easter egg steps. So there is a wall in the Undercroft that you can hit with Melee Macchiato to reveal a bunch of symbols on the wall. Some of these symbols will correlate to bottles in the bar in spawn. What you need to do is go into the bar and there will be these bottles labelled 1 to 6 that you'll need to remember the symbol that's correlating to the number. I'll show all my symbols on screen now in the order that they're in. What you then need to do is go back into the Undercroft and this wall that we opened up originally, you need to shoot these symbols in the wall in the order that they show up in the bar. If you've done this correctly, you'll see that part of the wall next to you will open up, revealing a book. You now want to go into the stamina room, and you'll see that there are 4 pages scattered around the room. Each of these pages have an eye symbol on, and they're quite easy to spot, but they can move around in each game. but the general area of each page stays the same. So if you look in the general area where you see the 4 pages in my game here, if you look in your game, if it's not in the exact place, it will be somewhere very close. Once you've collected all 4 of these pages, go back down to the book that you just revealed downstairs and place the pages into the book. Now this will show 4 symbols on the page. The way you want to read this is top left, top right, and bottom right, being 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now these symbols correlate to the red traps that have spawned around the map. You now want to go and activate these traps in the order 1 to 4 that I just said. And once the traps have been activated, you need to get 10 or so kills until the trap turns itself off. If you've done this correctly, you'll see in the book that they get grayed out if you've done them in the correct order. And a quick tip for this, the 4th symbol is always the one in the stamina room, so you only really need to remember 1, 2 and 3. Now just a quick side note, since a week or so, it's been found that you can actually skip the last couple steps that I just said, from breaking the wall to doing the traps. If you go into the stamina room from the direction of Juggernog, and then look at the pages going clockwise around the room, without picking them up, you can just read the symbols off each page and do the traps in that order. And if you do the traps in this order, you can completely skip the wall breaking, the code sequence, and revealing the book altogether, and it will jump you to the step we're at now. You'll know you've done it right, because as you can see on my screen now, there are 4 symbols showing up on the wall. If you don't get this, that means you didn't do the traps in the right order, and you'll have to go back and have a look again. But now we're all caught up, I'll carry on. So like I said, this wall contains 4 symbols. Going clockwise from the top in my game, you've got the stag, the raven, the lion, and then the dragon in that order. Bear in mind this will change in your game. But what you need to do is go up to the corresponding statues with the scrolls of the same element. Then you want to use your elemental scroll on the statue and then also weapon inspect directly after. So as I'll show here, I pick up the elements and then go over to the statue. So as you'll see here, I'll pick up the electric elemental scroll. I'll go over to the statue. I'm going to now use the elemental scroll on the statue and it will show this glow. And then you want to inspect the sword in front of the statue. You'll know you've done this right as the statue will salute you and then it will glow gold. You need to do this for all 4 statues in the order that it shows on the wall that I mentioned a minute ago. Once all 4 statues are done, you'll know they're done because they will all be glowing gold. You'll now see this orb falling down from the sky that you will need to pick up. You're now going to use this to complete 4 elemental challenges. The first one I'm going to show you is the fire challenge. So if you go over to where I do in the video and place down the orb in this slot, you now need to get fire elemental kills to complete this challenge. So you can use molotovs, you can use thermite grenades, you can use the fire scroll, and you can also use the sword's ability. Once you've done this, you'll be able to go ahead and pick it up. Now the next one I'm going to show you is the dark sword challenge. So if you go back into the undercraft and go where I do here, place the orb. Now you need to get dark kills. So you can either use the scroll, you can use Casmire's, and you can use the dark sword's ability to create a black hole. All of these will count as successful kills. And once you've done this, you can go ahead and pick that up. Now the next one I'm going to show you is the lightning trial. Go back to spawn and place this where I do here. And now you're going to need to get electric kills. So you can use shock charges, you can use the dead wire ordnance, and obviously you can use the sword to get electrical kills. Once you've done, go ahead and pick that up. And now go back into the Voltrade room, and directly opposite Voltrade will be the 4th place you're going to put the orb. Now this trial is a bit different to the rest. You'll see these glowing green orbs that are going to appear in this room. All you need to do is run through these orbs, and this will complete the challenge. In solo, you want to run through around 10 to 13 orbs. In co-op, this obviously gets more. You'll know this one's complete when all the orbs disappear. You'll now want to go ahead and pick up the challenge orb and go back to that wall with the 4 symbols on. You can now place this orb in the wall, and this will reveal a new secret room that we haven't had access to before. You'll see this red vial on the table. You want to go ahead and interact with this, and the owl will start talking to you. Once he's done talking, or if you don't want to listen to him, you can go ahead and pick up that red vial sitting on the desk. And now you're ready for boss fight. Now once you're ready for the boss fight, go back into the spawn, and at the feet of this statue, you'll see a hole where you can interact and place the red vial. This will now start a boss fight animation, and the statue will come to life, revealing it as a golem, and you'll be teleported into the boss fight arena. Now I mentioned originally in my intro that the initial best way to defeat this boss fight was using the drill, so that will be the gameplay you'll be seeing in the background. But since then, Treyarch have nerfed the drill and all other melee weapons, so they don't do anywhere near as much damage as they did originally. It is now better to take in one of the swords If you're on solo, I'd recommend taking in the Lion Sword, as this sword is able to give you back shield for every kill, and this could be really useful in this boss fight as it's very hectic, and the zombies can be very annoying. The way this boss fight works is the golem is covered in armor. You want to break this armor to reveal critical spots, and then those critical spots can be shot to deal a load more damage. This can be quite difficult in solo, as the golem will be constantly chasing you down. However, you can deal with the golem's attacks if you've taken in a sword, as your parry ability can stop you from taking any damage from the boss's slam attack. If you're doing this in co-op, this will be a lot easier, as you can have one player parrying the boss's attacks, and then the other players constantly shooting the boss and hitting its crit points. This boss is in 3 stages. Once you've completed all 3 stages, the boss fight will have finished, and there will be an amulet that you need to pick up. Once you've done this, you will be shown the ending cutscene. Now this boss fight can be quite difficult, so I'd recommend taking in some gobblegums. Idolize is always very useful, and so is Free Fire for the infinite ammo. I would also stay clear of any explosive weapons, because they're really bad at taking out the armor, and just don't do enough damage to this boss, so I'd recommend taking in a bullet weapon. The Krig is obviously an all-round very good weapon. However, a really consistent weapon that you could use is the light machine gun that you can find on the wall in the Undercroft. By the time you pick it up, it's normally around purple rarity, so you don't need to spend much salvage on leveling it up, and it's very consistent in doing good damage in the critical spots. Other than that, the sword is good enough to stop you taking any damage from the boss as long as you keep parrying his attacks, and obviously taking a self-revive because you are going to need it. But yeah, that'll do for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this has taken me forever to get through, but we finally got it out. I'm a bit late, but hey ho, what can you do? So yeah, thanks for anyone that's watching, and I will see you in the next one.